country, that's having a career that comes full circle. This story interested me. I thought this was interesting. A Utah high school football teammate turned down a summer job that was actually a covert coup attempt, I believe in like the Congo, in the African Congo. The friend of a prominent Congolese opposition leader. And let me just say before we go into this story, I know that a lot of people, you know, with the AI images of like all eyes on Rafah and pray for Sudan, which I've criticized because they're silly and they look like it's a new show on NBC. Tuesdays at 8, all about Rafah. Like it feels, even CNN quoted me because it does feel silly. Not to say I shouldn't be upset about these things. We're losing focus with the Sudan and the Congo stuff, I feel. I really do. I can get upset about this Palestine, but you start throwing in Sudan and the Congo, it doesn't work. I start going, oh, yeah, everything's fucked. And then I just turn it all off. You got to focus. I can't handle everything. You can't be like Sudan, Congo. Like, they are now listing everything going on the planet. I can't be enraged about that. Stick with something. The friend of a prominent Congolese opposition leader's son said he turned down a 6-figure offer to travel there from the U.S. as part of a family security detail in what turned out to be a failed coup. Marcel Malanga, the 21-year-old son of an eccentric coup leader, Christian Malanga, was detained by Congolese forces Sunday morning, along with a former classmate from their hometown of West Jordan, Utah, after his father was killed in a shootout while resisting arrest. His high school football teammate, Tyler Thompson, 21, was one of the 2 other Americans arrested after an ill-fated attack on the presidential palace in Kinshasa. 6 people were dead and dozens arrested, including 3 Americans following the attack and another on the residence of a close ally of President Felix Tshisekedi. The Congolese army spokesperson, Brigadier General Sylvain Ekenge, said. Daniel Gonzalez, a former teammate of the 2 Utah residents caught up in the foiled coup, told the Associated Press that Marcel had offered him $50,000 to $100,000 to spend 4 months in the Congo as a security guard for his politician father. The 22-year-old FedEx worker said he strongly considered it, but said it lacked concrete details. He ultimately declined so he could spend the summer with his girlfriend. I feel really sad for Tyler and Marcel, but at the end of the day, I just can't be grateful. I just can be grateful that I didn't go because I'd be stuck in the same scary situation. That is great, by the way, to have your son have a summer job, and that summer job is overthrowing a government in Africa. A friend of mine's father, who I've talked about on the show before, Bud Munster, said that if you're just a white guy with some money, you can kind of go, and I don't know if that's the case with this guy. I don't know if he's white or not. But you can go to like these places like Africa or South America, and you could really like fuck around a little bit and have fun. Like try to overthrow a government. Like this is kind of cool for like a summer trip that you went there. Now it didn't work. Certain things don't work. But the idea that like this guy's trying to overthrow an African government with his kid, and he said to his kid's friends, why don't you get a couple of your loser friends and you could come over and try to overthrow this government too. It is crazy to think about that that's his summer. I don't know what exactly you learn from this. That's maybe the issue is you don't really learn. You learn about trusting people. Like if you go over there, first of all, I never wanted to work as a person. That's why I do this. I always, poor people were always the ones that worked. You always see the poor working. They're always fiddling and fidgeting. They're late all the time. I was one of them for years. They work so hard and no one cares. And so I never wanted to work. It never interested me. That's why I do this. And rich people are kind of never really working. They're always doing something. They're always like kind of like taking a phone call, going to a lunch. But so I would have turned this down immediately. They're like, you're going to be a security guard. I mean, I wouldn't do that anywhere. And certainly not in the Congo. Like if my best friend was like, you know my dad loves you. He wants you to be a security guard in the Congo. I'd be like, fuck off, man. It's the summer. It's the summer. Like, I'm not going over to the African Congo with your dad. Your dad's a nut. But apparently some of these kids did, and now they're fucked. Are they still in jail?
Yeah, at least one of them is this, so the son, and then this other kid, Tyler Higbee. His parents talked to the news the other day. It was
Let's see what's going on with these. And by the way, how do you let your kid go? My son went to the Congo.
It was supposed to be a family trip to Africa, but it turned deadly over the weekend. Rebecca Higbee says her son, Tyler Thompson, was invited to travel through several countries in Africa with his longtime friend, Marcel Malonga.
My son, Tyler, has been friends with Marcel for years. They've been playing football together. And every summer, Marcel would go see his dad, just like any divorced couple. He would go spend summers with his dad in Africa.
Marcel is the son of Christian Malonga, the man killed in a shootout after an alleged attack on the Congolese presidential palace. Higbee says Malonga was shot in front of her son and Marcel. Since then, they've been trying to get any information about Thompson. They've been searching online and